In this lesson, we're going to talk about writing and spelling in Spanish. In order to achieve these objectives, we're going to classify each letter, whether it's similar to English or different, and then we're going to match up each letter with its sound. To begin, which letters in Spanish are similar to those in English and which ones are different? Pause the recording while you think about it. The letters on the first list, beginning with B, are similar to English. The letters on the second list, beginning with A, are different than English. You'll note that in Spanish, the letters K and W are not really used that much. So now we begin with each letter, starting in the upper left and moving across. The first letter is A, as in hasta mañana or adiós. The second letter is B, as in buenos días. The third letter is C, as in cómo está or bien, gracias. The combination CH is pronounced cha, just like English, as in buenas noches. You may have noticed that C has two different pronunciations. Based on these examples, ¿cuál es la regla? I'll read the examples now. Hola, buenos días. ¿Cómo está? Bien, gracias. ¿Cómo se llama? Soy Cristóbal Ignacio Acevedo. ¿De dónde es usted? Soy de Ecuador. ¿Ah, sí? ¿De cuál ciudad? Soy de Cuenca. So, what's the rule? ¿Cuál es la regla? Pause the recording while you think about it. You'll notice that C before A, O, and U is pronounced ca in Spanish, as in cómo está. Also before a consonant, like R, as in Cristóbal. C before E and I is pronounced S, as in gracias, or the name Ignacio, or the name Acevedo. And now for letters D, E, F, and G. De, as in de nada. The next letter is called E, as in esta es mi amiga Elena. The next letter is called F, as in por favor. And the next letter is called G, as in gracias mi general. De nada, capitán guerrero. As you may have noticed, G also varies in pronunciation in Spanish. Based on these examples, ¿cuál es la regla? I'll read those examples for you now. Excelente trabajo. Gracias, mi general. De nada, capitán guerrero. ¿De dónde es? Soy de un pueblo llamado Jimena. ¿Y usted, mi general? Soy de Guadalajara. ¿Ah, sí? El sargento Guillermo también es de allí. Genial. Based on those examples, ¿cuál es la regla? Pause the recording while you think about it. As you may have noticed, G before A, O, and U is pronounced g, or a hard G. G before E and I is pronounced in Spanish as h, as in genial, or Jimena. GU, however, before E and I is g, as in Guillermo. The U is silent. And now for the next set of letters. The first one is H, as in hola. H does not make a sound in Spanish. It's silent. The next letter is E, as in buenos días, capitán. The next letter is called J, as in ¿a qué se dedica? Pues soy militar, estoy en el ejército. The next letter is K. ¿De dónde es? Soy de Kansas. Remember that K is not used very often in Spanish and usually only in foreign words. The next set of letters is presented on this slide. L, Ella, M, y N. As in the examples. Le presento al General Paul. Mucho gusto, mi general. Me llamo David Llanos. Mucho gusto, señor Llanos. The next set of letters begins with ñ. Hasta mañana, señor. Then comes O. ¿Cómo está? Then comes P. Por favor. Then comes Q, which always appears with U, as in ¿qué significa dónde? In this example, we're going to talk about the rules for using Q. Based on these examples, ¿cuál es la regla? Juan es de Ecuador. ¿De qué ciudad? Es de Cuenca. ¿Cuál es su apellido? Su apellido es Quiñones. So based on those examples, ¿cuál es la regla? You may have noticed that CU before any vowel is pronounced qua, as in Ecuador or Cuenca. QU only appears before E and I in Spanish. It is pronounced K. The U is silent, as in Quiñones or Que. Here we have the next set of letters, R, S, T, U, as in Soy María Silva Santos. ¿Cómo se llama usted? Alejandro Ramos Acevedo. Mucho gusto. And here we have the next set of letters, beginning in the upper left with V, or B chica. Bajen el archivo, por favor. Otra vez. Then we have W, as in ¿de dónde es? Soy de Washington. Remember, W is not used very much in Spanish and usually only appears in foreign words. The next letter is X. Excelente trabajo. The next letter is Y, or as it's sometimes called, Y. Me llamo Daniel. ¿Y usted? ¡Ja! Yo también. Mucho gusto. The last letter of the Spanish alphabet is Z, as in these examples. Le presento al expresidente José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero. Mucho gusto en conocerlo, señor. As you'll note, Z in Spanish is not pronounced like the Z in zebra. It is always pronounced as the S in Sierra, or, as in the Spanish word, cerveza. On this slide, take a moment to name each of the letters in Spanish. Pause the recording while you name them. When we come back, I'll go over their names with you. Starting with the first one in the upper left, the letters are called A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, y Z. The combinations CH are called che, and the double L is called eye. Excelente trabajo. In class, we're going to talk about two questions. First one, in the Spanish alphabet, each letter corresponds to one sound. Is this true or false? And the second, true or false? There are no silent letters in Spanish. Until next time, hasta luego.